doesn't make any difference to you then. And I know as economic fighters, you've been working hand in glove with Fix the Country, and at a point you detached yourselves. But does it make any difference to you when Oliver Barker-Vormawor suggests, per his post, as some people have suggested, because there are different ways of looking at it, that if the e-levy is passed on the back of the cake scenario, he himself would, stage a coup, so to speak, not reading verbatim what he said, and going on to talk about a useless army and some of the things he said. Do you think that is in good taste, or that is just another bit when it comes to social media and it shouldn't be taken seriously?
No, there's two things here. There is an issue of expression of thoughts, and there's an issue of people have talked about intent, capacity to carry out whatever. I'm not going to go into that. But the main thing for me is that you cannot take somebody's Facebook post and based on that, if you see the charge sheet is basically just and based on that, slap the person with treason.
If someone puts on Facebook, I am going to, let's say, attack Asemesi or X person, and you take it for granted, and that attack happens. I mean, how do you relate to that? Do you know that on the back of that, someone would be able to go to the police station and lodge a complaint on the threat, supposedly? I mean, it's published, it's out there.
Yeah, but Ben, treason on a Facebook
felony
post. Treason felony. I mean, well, I'm not a lawyer, but logically, I see it to have the same end. One is death, one is life imprisonment. Life imprisonment is basically be in prison until you die. So maybe if you are lucky, they will grant you pardon or something. But clearly, if that doesn't happen,
right? Hold it right there.
So that is very problematic. If you ask me.
Hold it right there for me. Thank you, Hadi. Ejapa, aren't you overreacting to this?
To what?
To this entire Facebook post and yeah, generally the bit about journalists, Power FM journalists, Bupi Ansah, Accra FM, Mensa Thompson says something about the president's children jet setting or traveling in a luxury plane. He is hauled.
How many
so many of these things are happening.
How many radio stations are in this country?
Hundreds of them.
How many media? How many media men, journalists are in this country? How many of them? How many of them have been arrested?
How many have to be arrested before it's a cause of concern?
Precisely the point.
How many have to be arrested before it becomes a cause for concern?
You see, we speak of freedom of speech. You sitting here this morning, you are interrogating issues freely. Has anybody come to arrest you? You're doing your job unhindered. And so are several hundreds, if not thousands, of media men. But you agree that some of your colleagues hide behind the so-called freedom to commit crime, offend the law. And when they are arrested, then all hell breaks loose. Let's be honest with ourselves. Look, I wasn't excited seeing Mensa Thompson in handcuffs because the allegation that has been leveled against him. I said it on Metro TV last Friday that I think that the police was high-handed for an individual who ostensibly had gone to police station himself, even though he had evaded some initial invitations. Regardless, I understand that he went to the police station himself. He was kept overnight. And the next day he was sent to court in handcuffs. I think it was high-handed. Okay? And so we should roundly condemn the police for using high-handed means in arresting people who offend the law. Okay? If we say we believe in the rule of law, then we necessarily ought to believe in the practice of the law. Okay? Obviously, if you are arraigned before court and you have a defense to your statement or utterances that you made, then you articulate those there for a court of competent jurisdiction to make a determination. With respect to Oliver Barker-Vormawor, I do not want to second guess the police for the work that they're doing and the charges that they proffered against him. But as a trained lawyer, I know clear distinction between mens rea, which is an intent, and then also actus reus, which is the act itself. Ordinarily in civil criminal jurisprudence, it's only when the two meet, okay, that a crime is deemed to have been occasioned.
Right.
But in matters of this nature,
and you cannot just for the mere thought.
Thank you very much.
Prosecute for the mere thought.
I said
cannot prosecute.
You can. That was where I was coming. In matters of this nature, where an individual, it seems to me that the suggestion is that social media means irresponsible media, or that don't take a serious media. But it is a serious platform where an individual consistently evinces an intent, an invitation for the army to subvert the constitution. His post was clear, unambiguous. If this e-levy passes after this cake BS, I will do the coup myself. Useless army. This is a man who sits on social media, uses his platform, glorifies coup d'etats in Mali, Guinea, and links the Ghana-Guinea-Mali alliance.
Okay.
But yet, we're sitting here glorifying his action and condemning the police for doing their work. It beats me.
Okay.
This country.
Final beat.
What are we talking about?
We are actually out of our time, so just make it very brief. Sam Kranchi-Ankra has said the oppressor will not prevail.
So that's not being fair.
That is his take on it. On this. Now, we have to wrap with that one. I have to regulate the time, and I'm saying I agree. To wrap on this one.
I agree.
Very quickly.
Now, I
agree with Sam Kranchi-Ankra. The oppressor has never prevailed, but there's no oppressor here.
You see, there are some things that we call hot air. People blow hot air. I think government is simply going to a panic mode, and it's not good for its reputation.
It's going into panic mode.
Yes, so that they are panicky about the slightest stimuli. Slightest start to stimuli, they are reacting, like a mimosa. You know the mimosa plant. Why? Look, I can pull down so many social media comments in respect of coup. What does that mean? It means nothing.
Are you suggesting it should be taken for granted?
No taking for granted. But look at the circumstances. A man is based in Oxford, he's in London. He's posted something on social media. How is he going to conduct a coup in Ghana? Coup is not e-coup. There's nothing like e-coup.
I'm surprised that
you see, you can
there's nothing like an e-coup.
Yes, you can charge him for offensive conduct. I am not saying
which of the conduct is offensive?
Oh, why? If somebody writes things like
that,
it's
final bit, no more banter.
Yes, but to charge him,
you use the word inciting.
Oh, but to charge him under treason, Article 1917. Look, treason is the highest crime to commit against any republic. So even the trial process, it's not done normally like it's done with any other crime.
So you think government is overdoing it?
Government is overdoing it, and government is overreacting in a lot of other circumstances.
Right.
And I think that it is not good for its image. It's not good for the image of the republic. Government should be calm. Okay. And look at when these things happen. You look, there are options.
Unfortunately, we
there are options. So
wrap it here. But thank you very much.
But I've made a public remark.
Clear manifest statements over.
How is this clear manifest statement?
But the man has been making these utterances for.
Roxanne Nelson Dafiameko is Member of Parliament for South Dying. And Andrew Ejapa Mercer is Member of Parliament for Second D and a Deputy Energy Minister as well. Thank you, gentlemen. Hadi Yakubu, thank you as well, Fighter General Economic Fighters League. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. We'll be back shortly after this break and we'll be telling you about the Yamaransa model. That is up next on the AM show. Do stay.